Tinubu Peace Pact collapses as Fubara Wike fight gets real messy in Rivers. Can you imagine? So the fight between Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his predecessor, now FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, is getting dirtier by the day and getting messier by the day. We've understood how all the PDP chieftains in Rivers State have thrown their weight behind Fubara, and they have asked Wike to give peace a chance in Rivers State and face his FCT ministerial work. It's getting messier. So with what is happening now, the peace accord that they signed between Fubara, Wike, and Tinubu as president has collapsed and no longer holding, because Fubara has declared war and has said that he's going to implement several policies and is not going to leave any stone unturned. And he warned the Wike supporters in River State that they should not take his meekness and humility for weakness. He will do the unthinkable. Now, wow. It is no longer news that the peace pact between the River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his predecessor and estranged political godfather Nyesom Wike has collapsed following the intervention in October 2023 by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the wake of the escalating political crisis in the crude oil and gas-rich state. So the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, during a media chat in Abuja on Tuesday, April 2nd, ruled out any reconciliation in the foreseeable future with his successor, Governor Siminalayi Fubara. Fubara, on his part, broke his silence on Wednesday, April 3rd, as he promised to surprise his detractors if they dare him, referring to those stampeding him to implement all the terms in the 8-point presidential proclamation. But before the 2023 general election, the love between Fubara and the then Accountant General of the River State and Wike, the then sitting governor, was, to say the least, deep and cordial. So among other considerations, Wike ruffled feathers with his camp, picked Fubara single-handedly, and made him the governorship candidate of the People Democratic Party in the build-up to the elections. So Wike's preference for Fubara, as believed in some quarters, was to ensure that his tracks for the 8 years he governed the state was covered, and for him to continue his hold on the state and keep his political structure intact. Wike had his way, and Fubara emerged the winner of the governorship election in the state and was sworn in accordingly on May 29, 2023. Barely 5 to 6 months into the new administration, things started turning awry between the successor and the predecessor, who was appointed minister of the FCT by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So when Fubara became governor, Wike ensured that 7 commissioners who served under him were reappointed by Fubara. Not only that, they indeed retained the same positions in the new cabinet. He was alleged to have supervised all subsequent appointments in the new administration and called the shots on other salient issues bordering governance in the state. At some point, the situation did not go down well with Fubara, seen then as a loyal political godson, until the treatment he was getting became a mouthful. Okay. So before the crisis, anytime the FCT minister would visit Rivers, Fubara would have been at the Port Harcourt International Airport to welcome him and lead him to his abode. Now, with the two political leaders seen together at any state function, months down the line, however, their relationship became frosty, to the extent that the two political leaders stopped seeing eyeball to eyeball, let alone sitting together at state functions. So a case in point was in late October 2023 during the annual summit of the Nigerian Bar Association Young Lawyers Forum in Port Harcourt, held at the Justice Mary Odile Judicial Institute, where the FCT minister delivered a lecture. So at that event, with the team breaking barriers, creating future leaders in Nigeria from the present and next generation of young lawyers. Governor Fubara, who was to present the keynote address, was represented by the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Professor Zacchaeus Adango-san. Also in November 2023, during the unveiling of a book titled Law and Society, a compendium of speeches and addresses written by the then outgoing chairman of the Rivers State University Governing Council and Pro-Chancellor Justice Iche Ndo, retired, in Port Harcourt. Wike attended as the special guest of honor, while Fubara, who was the chief host and visitor to the university, was visibly absent. Sundry occasions point to the no love lost between Godfather and Godson, as it were. Though these were a prelude to the main show, the would-be crisis which some keen watchers of political events in the state predicted rightly reached the rooftop when it was speculated in the camp of the FCT minister that Fubara was hobnobbing with some known political foes of Wike, including the PDP presidential candidate in the 2023 general election, Atiku Abubakar, and members of his then campaign organization in Rivers State who fell out of favor with the former governor for pitching their tent with Atiku in the 2023 election. So, to the conclusion side, already insinuations are rife that Governor Fubara plans to use administrators to run the local government until such a time he considered fit to conduct the council election, especially going by the recent amendment of the Rivers State Local Government Law by the State House of Assembly, which makes provision for the extension of the tenure of the current council chairman. This had informed the alarm raised by the State APC Caretaker Committee Chairman, Chief Tony Okocha, during a news briefing on April 3rd, where he alleged that the party had uncovered a plot by the governor Fubara to procure a court injunction to declare the State House of Assembly and the laws it enacted amended within the period of the crisis illegal. Though Fubara's Commissioner for Information and Communication, Joseph Johnson, described the allegation as outright falsehood. Okocha stated, "I want to use this opportunity to inform Rivers State people and Nigerians of the move by the governor of Rivers State, similarly Fubara, to procure interim court orders from judges that I may not name here, but I will put in my petition today at the National Judicial Council." So Fubara, wants to procure an interim order stopping the implementation of the laws which he was, vetoed over. He wants to procure an order to announce as illegal the Rivers State House of Assembly as constituted and as led by Right Honorable Martin Chike Amewule. So while noting that the APC as a leading opposition party in the state will resist the move, he added, these are the plans that are on, and he is doing that so that he will now leverage on that order to go ahead to appoint caretaker committee in local government, against the warning of the man he says he respected, the president. Can you imagine? So people are already commenting here, as I was saying, when you don't come out, you don't come out. Please come out, make I pass. Yeah, in the Milocon and election riggers. Not be smart to that giving this to Wike and his people, I'm telling you. Okay? The way these people write their story will make you, who is not living in Rivers State, think there is fight everywhere. Not be lie. How wise was wicked witch Wike? Is he really wise, or is just operating like an emperor? Fubara will overcome this evil man called Wike. Rivers State is not his private property. Not be lie. Not be lie. The truth is, Rivers State is more politically united now than any administration, because our present governor is a respectful and wise man who has the interests of the people at hand. So the people who are thundering problems on the Rivers State government using legislative opportunities, sections are just enemies of peace. Within 1 year, the government is already having the support of the entire state across political parties, except those I will describe as Rivers State vultures. Okay. So that is good if Rivers State is already getting support from everybody, but it's obvious that the fight between Wike and Fubara is far from being settled. And also the resolution reached by Tinubu for them is also far from being fully implemented or far from being effective in resolving the issues between the Godfather and the Godson. And that is why this message is titled that the peace pact is breaking down fast. It's already collapsed as we speak. So thank you for listening. Let's have your comment over this matter and let's know what you think for sharing. Just like somebody is saying that people from outside the state will think there is war in the state, but meanwhile the state is more united than ever.